Hi, I'm Amber Kane, textile designer and creativity educator, and through this video series, I'm taking you on a journey of my preparing for the American Craft Council show in Baltimore. Because I know 5 years ago when I was working on starting doing craft shows, I really wish that I had someone that would just tell me what they did, tell me what to do, and give me like a checklist and a guide to follow to get ready for a show. So American Craft Council show, if you've never been to it, it's a pretty big show. It's one that I've gone and walked a lot of times and had put on my goal list of shows to get into. So last year I got waitlisted and this year I got in. So it's a rather expensive show, so after the show fee and hotel and food and all of those things, it's probably going to cost me around $2,000. So it's something that you really want to be prepared for because you don't want to spend $2,000 and come home and not have made $2,000. I mean, I want to make a lot more than $2,000, let's be honest. But we always at least want to cover our show fees. That's the starting point. So here's what I do. I have a lot going on in my life, as I'm sure you do too. So to have enough inventory when you're hand making everything, you need to plan ahead. So as soon as I find out that I've been accepted into a show, I go and plug some things into my calendar. So I plug the show dates into my calendar for sure, but then I also backtrack and really look at when do I need to get serious about creating a production schedule. So for this one, I knew that first the show is in February. So I knew first of all in December I was really going to be ramping up production for the holidays and for Christmas. And so I needed to focus on that first. So I marked down January 1st, I needed to get really focused and really busy on planning for the American Craft Council show. So I plug that into the calendar because when everything else is going on and it's easy for shows to kind of go off your radar and not pay attention to everything that you need to get done, or to convince yourself that you have more time than you actually have, which we don't want to do. So January 1st, I sit down and look at what do I currently have in inventory? How much do I have? The next thing that I do is figure out my goal. So how many scarves do I really want to take to this show? Whatever that number is, then I have to back up on my calendar and I create a week-by-week production schedule as to if I'm going to hit my goal of X number of scarves, then how many scarves do I have to make per week? And so first I choose my dream number. So, if my dream number was 500 scarves, which would really be a lot of scarves for me, then I would back up week by week. I have 8 weeks and see, is that even possible? No, it's not possible. So then I continue to adjust back and forth between my end goal, what is actually possible, and put that into a schedule so that I can really track myself week by week. Because again, for me, if I don't do it week by week, it's really easy for me to be like, oh, I'm on schedule or I'll do that next week, as opposed to being able to see right on paper, I need to make 5 scarves this week. Which is an easy number for me to wrap around my head. So I highly recommend that you go out and you create a production schedule for what you're making, when you're making it, and how much you're making of it. At the same time, I think about promotional materials. So are there things that I need to get printed? Am I printing postcards? Am I printing any images for my booth? Am I sending a mailing out? Do I need new business cards? Do I need new tags? All of those things. And once I have that list, then I go ahead and program probably like mid-January that I need to order all my promotional materials. I don't like to be in a place of pure panic like the week before thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have everything that I need. One, that's where you end up creating things too quickly and there's all kinds of errors on them and you don't have time to fix the errors. And 2, you end up getting hit with having to pay rush order on printing and rush order on shipping, which I really don't like to do. So I go ahead and write down everything that I need and schedule when it needs to be ordered by. And then normally I take one afternoon and sit down and if I need to produce any of those materials, I make the materials and I place all of the orders so that by the end of January, I have any print materials that I need. I have all my tags and business cards and all of those things, and I don't have to worry about it. My goal is always that there are some things that when it comes to a show that you really can't control. So you want to really be on top of the things that you can control so that your stress level is as low as possible and you can handle the things that are coming in that you really can't control. So those are my first words of advice for you. So if you've already applied and been accepted and have some upcoming shows, then I really challenge you to get out your calendar and schedule when do you really need to check your inventory. How are you going to create a production schedule, and making sure when do you need to order things, even packaging supplies. So if you order your boxes and your bags and your tissue paper and stickers and whatever you might order, making sure that you have written down when you need to order those by. And I also have a freebie below this video. So if you click below this video, I am giving away my craft show packing list. So you'll have to adapt it a little bit depending on your booth setup, what show you're doing, and what kind of art you create. But it's a really good starting point. And will get your brain flowing. It's a document that I use for every single show, so I have it saved on my computer when a show's coming up. I print it out and I always use it, which makes me really sure and comfortable that if I've followed my craft show packing list, that I actually have everything that I need when I'm going to a show.